Good morning, everybody. It is June 26, 2017, and my name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group Securities Offered by Money Block. Welcome to MarketStream.live. This is where we check out all of the overnight action report, everything that has occurred so far in Japan, China, Hong Kong, and India. This is going to set the tone for the trading day and the trading week, so let's jump in. Taking a look, though, at the ETF that I utilize for my clients, if I'm going to invest in anything that's emerging markets or where there is some pretty significant growth, but also some potential volatility, is going to be in the emerging sector, and that's EEM. This stock right now is trading at 41 bucks. Now, this trades here in the United States during our hours, so if you're not able to stay up overnight or don't have access to the Nikkei, the Hong Kong, the Hang Seng, or the Sensex, which are the four major indices in Asia, this is where you can trade those emerging market stocks. They've been battling, and the last couple of weeks, you've seen that they've been testing their 20 and 50-day moving average. For you new viewers, I watch the 20-day and the 50-day moving average as short-term and intermediate-term type of support or resistance levels. And since the underlying has been trading above or right at these different levels, the bulls have been in control. But when they get in between the 20 and the 50-day, that's telling you a battle has begun. Watch that very closely. The bulls are still in control, but as we saw in Japan, there was a little bit of a lackluster type of action. The yen was relatively flat. That's the currency in Japan. You see fluctuations in the yen, that could be a catalyst or it could be a deterrent to either the upside or the downside. In this case, with the flat yen, neither the bulls nor the bears really could gain any traction. You're also seeing on the local level that there are some elections that are going to be coming up. The prevailing party right now is the LDP party. That is the party of the Prime Minister Abe. Well, right now they're under some pressure from the Tokyoites going into the July 2nd local elections. If you start to see that Parliament has any shift in Japan as far as who has control, this could affect policy going forward. We're going to keep an eye on that. EWJ is an ETF that tracks Japanese stocks. You can watch that today during the market hours. It's been trending to the upside, and you can see it's been above its 20-day and its 50-day as well as its 200-day moving average. The bulls are still in control in Japan. In China, let's switch gears a little bit, and you have the Shanghai Composite. This has been an index that in May and into June was basically waffling around where the bears were clearly in control. Then in mid-June, early June, there was a bounce. You saw that the concerns about growth, they had good GDP, they had good import-export numbers. You also saw that there was concerns about whether or not the government was going to clamp down on leveraged assets and trading, as well as increased lending standards. Well, all that's still playing out very much so, but with an area that has 6.2 GDP forecast and an 8.6 price to earnings ratio, growth hounds are starting to look at China, and Chinese stocks have been moving to the upside for the last couple of sessions. Watch FXI. This is a large cap ETF that trades here in the US during our market hours. It has been in a battleground for the last about week or so with the inclusion of 222 of Chinese A-rated stocks, A shares, I should say, not rated, A shares. You saw that that is a boost that's giving some exposure, some capital into the Chinese equity markets with their inclusion into the MSCI, which is an all-world index. Traders are liking that. Let's see if FXI opens up a little bit higher on the U.S. Open after what was really solid performance on the Shanghai Composite. Where we saw also decent performance was in Hong Kong. Continues to see some upside. This has been, as far as China is concerned, the real mover. It has been, though, in a consolidation for the last 2 weeks. The catalyst today, again, that inclusion in the MSCI and financials. You saw Bank of China, Hong Kong up 6.4% overnight. That is a positive for the markets. EWH is an ETF that you can watch that we'll keep an eye on, and it has been in a battle zone right now. It's between its 20 and 50-day moving average, lagging a little bit at the large cap index that is represented in the Hang Seng. But let's see if that positive return from Monday overnight session flows into here in the States. Now the Sensex, that was closed today. That's the Indian stock market due to a holiday. Watch EPI though. That will be open and trading. It's currently right now in between its 20 and 50-day moving average. The bulls are definitely on their heels. Let's see how this Indian ETF tracks going into the session. All right, folks, that's it for the overnight action report. Join me for all of the action in Europe. I'm going to be covering that in about 15 to 20 minutes. See you then.